Wonderful. Hi, I'm Alma Porras. I'm the assistant principal for the senior class this year.
Thank you for being here and taking the time to do this interview with us.
We know that you have a busy schedule, and taking the time out of your day to do this is a wonderful experience for us.
Well, thank you for selecting me to be interviewed.
What led you to becoming an assistant principal? Was there anything in your childhood or teenage years that helped you decide what you wanted to do?
So this is my 18th year in education. I served 8 years as a science teacher and 9 years as a counselor. So fortunately, I've had just a lot of great experiences as a student, and I really love school. And I've also had great teachers who have inspired me and challenged me. So I think being an AP is just the next challenge in my life. And I just really feel that education opens the door to so many possibilities and opportunities. So that's why I'm in education.
Can you say the names of the people or the teachers that inspired you?
I have a lot of teachers. My favorite teacher, her name is Miss Scown, and she was a science teacher. So when I was a student in her class, she actually didn't know my name because I was a really quiet student, super quiet, super shy. So it wasn't until I came back and actually became a coworker with her, and she became my lead teacher, that we actually got to know each other better. But she was just a really tough teacher who really loved her students. But I mean, I studied for her exams maybe a lot more than I needed to, but she was fabulous.
Is there any quotes that you live by that help you through your day-to-day or help you with your job?
So my favorite quote is by Maya Angelou, and her quote is, "When you know better, you do better." I love this quote because it reminds me that I'm not perfect and I make many mistakes, but it's important to have that growth mindset that whenever you know better intellectually, you do better. And I think it also helps me to have grace with other people because I know that we're still learning and we're going to do better next time.
Did you ever see yourself as a assistant principal?
Yes, I've always wanted to learn how to lead a campus. Again, for me, it's just a challenge that I fully accepted this year. I loved my experience as a teacher, loved being a counselor, so this was just the next big step. But the great thing is that since I love being a counselor and a teacher, I'm willing to serve wherever I'm needed.
What's the biggest problems that you have realized being a teacher / counselor before becoming the assistant principal?
A big problem that I see is a big obstacle that our students have to sometimes overcome are just family dynamics and having that support at home, because we can give them all the support we can at home at school. We can offer many services, but if they don't have that support at home, sometimes it's really hard to accomplish our goals.
Whenever you're talking to students, how will you make sure that they take your words to heart and actually apply it to themselves?
I have great relationship with our students. I strive to build relationships because sometimes we have to have difficult conversations, and in having great relationships, you can have those conversations. And it's one of the things that I do is I try to break down barriers. I use humor. And this allows us to have those conversations with students and parents.
Have you ever learned anything from the students that you tried helping?
I've learned so much from students. I really can't list everything, but I think the most important thing is that we're going through life together. Like, this is a journey that we're going through, and we all have our own life experiences, and it shapes our reality. Sometimes our goals have to be postponed or changed or altered, but as long as we continue moving forward, that forward progress is important. But I mean, I have students that I run into now that I taught maybe 10 years ago, and they tell me about the success in their life, that now they're a CDL driver, but it took 5 years to get there. And it's like, it doesn't matter how long it takes you to get to your goal, you've gotten to your goal. You're an accomplished person.
Has your students told you anything in your life that impacted you in such a way?
Whenever you're helping students, how do you make sure that it also helps them outside of school?
I think it's important to take an interest in students' extracurricular activities, and I think of that in the broad sense. So not everyone is in sports or newspaper or broadcasting. We have students who their extracurriculars, maybe that they're managers or staffs at restaurants, and I love visiting them there because they show that they have so much pride in their product that they're putting out. I also love buying t-shirts from students that they make. I think being relevant means that you encourage them to be successful.
Do you have any fond memories you like to look back on that you vision on a day-to-day basis?
So fond memories. There's just so many. There's one student that I just really enjoyed having in class, and we had to learn how to work together and encourage him to succeed. And one of the things that I just remember that he said is, we were learning about the different continents and how many continents there are and if we could name them. And he jokingly was like, Miss Porras, there's 4. And I was like, no, that's not quite right. And he's like, don't worry about it, Miss Porras, it's something we learn in college. And so just realizing that our students have different expectations than we do and bringing them up to our level is important. And so I enjoy students who have humor.
How do you accomplish to make sophomores feel more welcome as their first year at the Clovis High School?
So I'm not really the sophomore AP, I'm more the senior AP. But I think to make any and all students feel comfortable at school is really to build that relationship with them and help them figure out what it is that they're successful in and see if we can connect them. Like, if you like journalism, then connecting you here. If you are interested in health sciences, connecting you with our health science program. So that is welcoming. Whenever you love what you're doing, love what you're learning, you feel welcome.
How do you make sure that your seniors leave on a high note as they leave high school?
I think for our seniors to leave on a high note, they have to figure out what their post-secondary success looks like for them. Is it, I want to own my own business. Well, how do we help you be an entrepreneur? I want to be a CDL driver. Well, let's enroll you in that class. I want to go to medical school. All right, let's put you in that best program that'll lead you there. So really it's about figuring out what their future life looks like and how we can help them get there.
What type of educational accomplishments helped you go from teacher to counselor to assistant principal right now?
I think it's everyday accomplishments. It really is kind of like going back to that quote, when you know better, you do better. I can't say there was one big, I've won like teacher of the year, I've won counselor of the year, but I think the daily, everyday accomplishments of meeting with students, talking to students, seeing them be successful, seeing them graduate, go on and have lives, running into them 5 years later and seeing their businesses be successful, seeing them complete their PhD programs is amazing. To me, that's the accomplishment that keeps me going.
Would you want to say anything to the student body?
I'm just so excited to be here. I've really loved the interactions that I've had with students so far, and I just love how friendly everyone has been. And I think, we're setting ourselves up for success.
And we'd like to thank you again for coming out here to interview with us. And I'd like to say on behalf of the student body, we'd love to have you here for as long as possible.
Oh, that sounds great. And I just want to say thank you for these questions. I really thought y'all were going to ask questions like, what's your favorite color? So these were really great questions. Appreciate y'all.
We try to have the student body have a deeper look into our new faculty members.
Well, purple's my favorite color, so I'll share that anyway.